Ape brothers and sisters alike, my name is Tyler and welcome back to the channel for another very important AMC update video. And in this video we are going to be talking about AMC earnings because they are on August 5th, Thursday of next week. But specifically we're going to talk about how guidance is going to be so important for this earnings and what the analyst expectations are, because as we do know, there's been blockbuster film after blockbuster film, so they're expected to be very good, and I think they'll probably be even better if AMC can actually increase their margins, which I do think they have been doing with all their food products and all of their extra offerings. So we're gonna get into everything you guys need to know. Don't worry, stick through this video. You guys will have a clear understanding of what analysts expect as well as what I expect for earnings next week. This is very important, so make sure to drop that like on the video, and with that, let's get into it. Now, before we even get into any projected numbers for AMC, we have to talk about, for some people that don't understand why earnings is a huge catalyst and you can see huge price swings to the upside or the potential downside. It is simply due to a lot of different reasonings, right? Give an update to the business that you are invested in, but a bigger portion of earnings, especially in this marketplace that investors do care about, is forward-looking guidance. What is the company projected to do going into the next quarter, throughout the rest of the year, even into 2022? That is the most important thing. And obviously, I think Adam Aron is going to say a lot of positive things about AMC as a business. Look, they're branching out into the UFC fights. They're doing all these exclusive deals and programs and with investors. Like, it's gonna be very good guidance. That is what I do expect. That is really where you will see the pop from. I don't really expect the numbers per se to give a pop, even though some of these numbers are about a 2,000% increase from the last earnings, which we'll get into, but the guidance is the most important thing. And if you guys don't think this will be a huge catalyst, it will be a huge catalyst. If AMC turns out really good numbers and analysts can give it an even higher valuation, like I always say, if the fundamental valuation goes up so much, then your upside with a short squeeze is much more than your potential downside. So that is very important, that every single ape understands why earnings are very important, and that is the simple rundown. Obviously I can make a whole video about earnings, why it's so important, but I don't want to waste your guys' time with that. Let's talk about this. It says AMC Entertainment expected to beat earnings estimates. What to know ahead of Q2 release. AMC Entertainment is expected to deliver a year-over-year increase in earnings on higher revenues when it reports results for the quarter ended June 2021. This widely known consensus outlook gives a good sense of the company's earnings picture, but how the actual result compared to these estimates is a powerful factor that could impact its near-term stock price. The earnings report might help the stock move higher if these key numbers are better than expectations. On the other hand, if they miss, the stock may move lower. While sustainability of the immediate price change and future earnings expectations will mostly depend on management's discussion of business conditions on the earnings call, it's worth handicapping the probability of a positive EPS surprise. That is basically what I already talked about with forward-looking guidance. The management's discussion of business conditions. That is essentially saying guidance. So that is very important here. But Zach's consensus estimate. This movie theater operator is expected to post quarterly loss of 91 cents per share in the upcoming report, which represents a year-over-year change of 83.3%. Revenues are expected to be $341.3 million, up 1,705.8% from the year ago quarter. So definitely great numbers, guys. If they can even get 50 more in revenue than expectations, I think that'll be huge for the company, and that is probably likely at this point. But it just goes on to say during this whole section about Zach's consensus estimate, how it's over 70% effective, and then we get back to AMC right here. So how have the numbers shaped up for AMC Entertainment? For AMC Entertainment, the most accurate estimate is higher than the Zach's consensus estimate, suggesting that analysts have recently become bullish on the company's earnings prospects. This has resulted in an earnings EPS of 10.66%, so they have revised their estimates to the upside. On the other hand, the stock currently carries a Zach's rank of 3, which, if you come back up here, a Zach's rank of 3 is a hold. So that is definitely better than a sell. I'll take that any day. So this combination indicates that AMC Entertainment will most likely beat the consensus EPS estimate, which will be huge as well. But like I'll say this again for the third or fourth time in this video, guidance is what is really important, and I think you're going to see some strong guidance coming from Adam Aron. But Does earnings surprise history hold any clue? Analysts often consider to what extent a company has been able to match consensus estimates in the past while calculating their estimates for its future earnings. So it is worth taking a look at the surprise history for gauging its influence on the upcoming number. For the last reported quarter, it was expected that AMC Entertainment would post a loss of $1.28 per share when it actually produced a loss of $1.42 per share, delivering a surprise of negative 10.94%. The company has not been able to beat consensus EPS estimates in any of the last 4 quarters. So if they can this time, that'll be a huge surprise. So bottom line, an earnings beat or miss may not be the sole basis for a stock moving higher or lower. Many stocks end up losing ground despite on earnings beat due to other factors that are disappoint investors. Similarity, unforeseen catalysts help a number of stocks gain despite an earnings miss. AMC Entertainment appears a compelling earnings beat candidate. However, investors should pay attention to other factors too for betting on this stock or staying away from it ahead of its earnings release. So they try to stay pretty neutral here, but they're definitely skewed to the bullish side. They are expecting a revenue beat, an earnings beat overall. Now, what is very important that I also want to give you guys an insight about is how you actually see a stock move up until earnings. Now, obviously, it is Friday today, July 30th, so we do have earnings coming next week on Thursday, August 5th. So once we do start trading on Monday, that is going to be the main focus of investors, is going to be earnings on that Thursday. Now, what typically happens, you will either see a earnings run up into earnings, and then you'll see the earnings come out, and even if they're really good, you'll sometimes see the stock go down quite a bit, or you'll either see the stock stay pinned like we have seen, like kind of how it's been the last 7, 8 trading days now, or you will see the stock kind of sell off into earnings, and then you'll usually see a huge pop. We just seen that with AMD, and that went crazy, and we killed it with the buy and sell alerts, guys, and over 400% winning trade, $100 into over $400. So definitely check that out if you guys want to as well. But that is the overall concept here. I don't expect a huge run up. We could see a bit of a run up, maybe go over $40, maybe to about $45, but I do think ultimately earnings and guidance are going to be very good for AMC, and I think that's going to be the biggest impacting factor here. But like I said, keep in mind what happens next week going into earnings. If we sell off, if we go through this earnings run up, and then we're likely to have a sell off on earnings. If we don't have that run up into earnings, we're likely to see a pop coming on earnings. Now, we also do know, as far as the Ortex data is concerned, we have over 15% short interest. So this could be a factor to lead some shorts to get out of their short positions, just because if that fundamental valuation does go a little bit higher, then it's probably not worth it to short the stock at that current moment. I don't think this is going to cause the short squeeze, but I definitely think this is something to keep on your guys' radar and to know exactly what to expect for earnings and how this could move the stock. So now you guys know what analysts expect for earnings. They are very bullish. I am very bullish on earnings. Keep in mind the guidance and the move that we do see throughout Monday into Thursday, because that can give you an insight into what is expected to happen with earnings. Also, I am looking to trade this. I'm looking to make a big trade on this. We are pinned in this range, so we are going to see a potential move to the upside, where I do think we could also see a potential move to the downside. So I am probably looking to do a strangle on this, more so to the upside, right? So you're buying calls, buying puts, just to protect yourself, kind of like hedging, but you want more calls than puts, obviously. So that is probably how I'm going to play it. If you guys want to be notified in real time every time a trade is bought or sold in AMC or any other stock, check out the link for the buy and sell alert. Like I said, we've been killing it. It pays for itself, and it's very inexpensive. That is going to do it for this video. Make sure to drop that like on the video, as well as let me know down below, what do you think earnings will do for the stock? And please don't even comment that earnings won't do anything or not be a huge factor. This is going to be a huge factor. So that is just misinformation all the way around. If you think it's going to be negative for the stock, let me know that. Provide some kind of factual data behind it or something. Don't just say something and then have nothing to back it up with. But also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. But that is going to do it for the video. I will see you guys in the next one.